Report.
First squad, all present, accounted for, sir.
Second squad, all present, accounted for, sir.
Open ranks. March. Ready? Front.
For the next 8 hours, these law enforcement personnel will patrol the base to protect Air Force resources and maintain law and order. As representatives of the government, the Air Force, and the installation commander, they've been granted the authority to apprehend persons subject to the Uniform Code of Military Justice for offenses against the code. In addition, they're authorized to detain individuals not subject to the code who are found to be committing criminal acts on base, and detain them long enough either to be turned over to civil authorities or removed from the base. It's here at guard mount where they're inspected, briefed, and given their assignments that their shift begins.
Flight 10. Hut. Close ranks. March. At ease. Sergeant Frederick, Airman Keene, you're on Gibson Gate. Sergeant LaGoria, you're on patrol sector number 1. Airman Gruber, you're on patrol sector 2. Sergeant Trent, you're on patrol sector 3. Sergeant Trent, I would like for you to set up radar on Wyoming between 16 and 1800. Again, we're continuing to get a lot of complaints about speeding vehicles in that area. Airman Gruber, I would like for you to check the youth center as often as you can. Again, we're receiving a lot of complaints about bicycle thefts from that location. Does anybody have any questions?
While on vehicle patrol, these patrolmen will be in an ideal position to observe the many activities and resources of the base. They'll be able to respond quickly to incidents and, if necessary, to transport suspects and equipment. Whether they will enforce traffic laws or check buildings, whether they will furnish directions or respond to a domestic disturbance, it will be their duty to protect the personnel and property in their assigned sectors. Although the number of on-base patrols may vary depending on local circumstances, each base will have at least one 24-hour patrol. When there's more than one patrol, sectors should be set up in which these patrols are deployed when and where they're most needed. These individual sectors are developed by collecting and analyzing patrol deployment data and crime prevention program needs for the base.
Patrol 2, this is Police Control, radio check.
This is Patrol 2, loud and clear.
Patrol 2, roger.
I think one of the most valuable things we accomplish out here on patrol is to be a very visible deterrent to crime. Someone might think twice about driving across base with a bag of marijuana in the glove compartment. Or they might drive a little more carefully if they know we're out here.
Patrol 1, this is Police Control. What is your location?
Patrol 1, I'm at Ivy and 33rd.
Roger.
Because we drive one-man patrols most of the time out here, the desk is my partner. If I'm called to an incident, they'll give me as much info as they can while I'm on my way to the scene. I let them know when I leave the vehicle to issue a citation or to check something out. And of course, if the situation arose, they could call in a backup for me. There are just some situations a patrolman doesn't handle alone.
We're using radar here right now because we've had a number of complaints from the residents of the housing area about speeders. So the area has been singled out for selective enforcement.
The study of data from sources such as incident reports, field interviews, traffic records, and complaints from citizens can be used to identify patterns of criminal activity.
4907, doing 33 and a 20.
When the patrol system is based on crime analysis, deployment methods, and call prioritization, it can provide structured or pre-planned patrol activities rather than random preventive patrol. And that underutilized patrol time can be devoted to directed patrol.
Patrol 1, this is police control.
Patrol 1, go.
Proceed to the bank for funds, escort to BX. See Mr. Oliver.
Patrol 1, roger.
The majority of service calls are related to non-criminal matters. And in the protection of personnel and property, a patrolman may receive a variety of routine calls for assistance and service. The most common of these requests is for the escort of funds.
When we're requested to escort funds, we don't actually carry the funds in our vehicles. What we do is provide a trailing escort for the people who do. That way, if a robbery does occur, I'm free to respond.
Mr. Oliver, how you doing today?
Hi, Sergeant LaGoria. How you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
You gonna be my escort today?
You got it. Ready to go?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Okay, I'm just gonna back up.
Okay.
Just pull out in front of me, and I'll just take it from there.
Okay.
So it's my job to meet Mr. Oliver at the bank and ensure his safe arrival at the BX. Of course, I'll be in contact with the desk along the route, and since this is something we do on a regular basis, I'll take a different route than we did yesterday.
This is a good radar site because I have a clear, unobstructed view of the oncoming traffic. I don't have any natural or artificial interference such as from air-filled radar or a high-voltage power line. And the vehicles can pass this spot without becoming bunched together, so I have the ideal conditions to measure their speed. I am also able to park my vehicle in a position that does not impede traffic. And if I had to pursue anyone, I could easily enter traffic.
New Mexico license, Echo Mike Yankee, 894, one occupant doing 57 in 40.
Well, thanks a lot, Sergeant LaGoria. Certainly appreciate it.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Patrol 1, this is police control.
Patrol 1, go.
We have a silver late model Sapporo headed toward Wyoming Gate. Male driver picked up on radar in Pennsylvania, doing 57 in the 40 zone.
Even though the driver is committing a violation by speeding, it hardly seems appropriate that I engage in any unsafe driving practices to pursue him. My goal is to get him to stop, not to get either of us or someone else into an accident.
Sir, pull your vehicle over to the right. Stop, please.
It seems to me that this driver isn't paying any attention either to his driving or to me in back of him. So I figure that if I increase my speed just a little and use my siren to get his attention, that he'll stop when he sees me.
I just checked out the youth center again. Everything seems quiet over there. Of course, when I make checks, I'll do so on a random basis so that no one can predict when I might show up. Same thing here for a building check. I'll want some element of unpredictability, both in my arrival time and in my approach to the building. That way, my checks are much more effective and more likely to discourage any criminal activity.
As in all traffic stops, it's the patrolman who should select the site with an eye to safety for himself, for other drivers, and for the violator.
Patrol, this is Patrol 1. I have a silver, a late model Sapporo, New Mexico license, Echo Mike Yankee, 894, be one male occupant. I'll be on Maxwell at Red Wing.
Patrol 1, roger.
Selecting a site large enough so that it will not interfere with other traffic, the patrolman should avoid potentially hazardous locations such as totally dark areas, intersections, hills, curves, or a spot that puts the sun directly into his eyes. Here, with his own vehicle positioned approximately 1/2 to 1 car length behind and 3 to 4 feet to the left, he has shielded both himself and the violator from oncoming traffic.
Because I'm alone, I'll hang the radio mic outside the vehicle so I can easily get to it. Even in the most routine stops, there's some element of risk, so a cautious approach towards the left side of the vehicle is always warranted. I'll observe the trunk to make sure the lid is not ajar. If it were a van, I'd check out the rear compartment. Of course, I'll stop and check the rear seat and floor. Keeping the violator in sight at all times, I can observe any suspicious movements on the part of the driver or passengers if there are any. I can also see if anything's being thrown out of the vehicle. Finally, here at the rear edge of the driver's door, I'm in the best position to observe both the front and rear seats and to address the driver.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Sergeant Longoria, Base Security Police. Can you turn your ignition off, set the emergency brake? Stopped you because you were doing 45 and 25 mile an hour zone on Maxwell. Going to issue you a citation. Have your driver's license, please. Thank you.
The driver is under no suspension or revocation.
Roger, Control.
Sitting in the front passenger seat of the patrol vehicle with the door open, or standing behind the right rear bumper of the patrol vehicle, provides both good cover and a good vantage point to continue observation of the violator's vehicle.
Now, as I approach the vehicle again to issue the citation, I'll just take another look to see if anything about the vehicle or driver has changed.
Lieutenant Shepley, this is a copy of your citation. It's your driver's license and ID. You know it's base regulations that you fasten your seatbelt while on base.
Yeah, sorry, I just forgot.
Please drive more carefully, sir.
I will.
Respond to a car and motorcycle collision at the intersection of Texas and 8.
Roger, Control, en route.
Usually the first individual of authority to arrive on the scene, the patrolman must be prepared to quickly evaluate the situation and act accordingly.
With the vehicle broken down in the middle of the intersection, it seems that the best place for my vehicle is here at the curb.
Control, this is Patrol 2. We will need an ambulance and send for backup.
Patrol 2, roger.
There's no fire or gas spill, so I won't need to call the fire department. But it doesn't look like we'll be able to move this vehicle without a tow.
He's breathing.
Let's get a step back, please.
What about an ambulance?
Ambulance is on his way.
The guy in the other car? Is he okay?
Sir, I'm Airman Gruber of the Base Security Police. Are you able to get out of your car?
I don't think so. I feel dizzy.
Okay, sir. An ambulance is on its way.
Better not move them anywhere.
The other guy's okay, though, huh?
For one thing, I can use the vehicle's lights to alert the oncoming traffic to a hazard. And it will be close enough to work out of, and far enough away so it won't block any emergency vehicles I may need to call.
Look at, he's bleeding all over here.
Did anyone see what happened?
Yeah, I did. I called in the report.
I saw it too. The car came right through the stop sign.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, could you please step over there, and could you two step over here, and then I will speak with you later?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Break-ins aren't all that uncommon around here, so someone looking in windows warrants checking out. Control, this is Patrol 1.
Patrol 1, roger.
I I have an individual looking in windows at 3011 31st Place. I'm getting out to question him.
Roger. Clear.
Part of our crime prevention program is to conduct field interviews if an individual is acting suspiciously or is where we think he shouldn't be. Then if a crime is committed in that area, we may have our suspect already on file.
How you doing, sir? Sergeant Longoria, Base Security Police. Something I can help you with?
I'm looking for some friends of mine.
Well, it looks like nobody's home.
Yeah, I guess I'll be going.
Excuse me, sir. We're preparing a record of activity in this area. Need some information in case you're asked to be a witness.
Hey, you don't think I'm trying to break in here, do you? I know these people.
I just need some information. May I see your ID, please?
Yeah, let's check the Do you think you can walk?
I think so, but I'm still dizzy.
Okay. Put your arm around my neck.
I checked with the desk to make sure that Airman Lenza did indeed reside in the barracks. Turned out that he did. I also checked around the residence for any signs of forced entry. There were none.
Not under arrest, am I?
Of course not. Thanks again for your cooperation, Airman Lenza.
Yeah, sure. Is it all right to go now?
Sure. Thanks again.
Sure.
Everything in Sector 1 seemed in order as I returned to headquarters. After I wound up the field interview on Airman Lenza, I later doubled back past the house to be sure everything was okay. Other than that, I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Flight, hitch, hut. Close ranks. Huh.
After Sergeant Trent and I had cleared up the accident scene, things were pretty quiet for the rest of my shift in Sector 2.
Staff Sergeant Grabler, you are assigned Patrol Sector 2.
I let my presence be felt at the youth center, and there were no incidents reported there. During one of my building checks, however, I found a door unlocked. A backup and I checked the building out, and then the desk notified the custodian. He came over to check things out and lock up.
I circled through Sector 3 a few more times after we put things back in order at the accident scene.
Airman First Class King, you're in Sector 3.
I stopped to talk to a man who was trying to get into a locked car on F Street. Turned out it was his own.
Are there any questions? Flight, hitch, hut. Pulse.
As one shift ends, another begins, as on-base patrols continue around the clock, maintaining an environment in which the base can safely and efficiently accomplish its mission.